What's up, guys? I'm going into another video here about the 100 subscribers. Because my live stream I did, people watched. And a lot of it was cut out due to freaking internet issues down here in Georgia. We got the hurricane coming up this way from Florida. And so that's affecting our internet quality pretty bad. It's supposed to hit pretty hard tomorrow. And I just wanted to thank everybody again because, like I said in my stream, I never thought 100 people would want to watch what I do. You know, my review videos aren't the most educated of videos. I'm only going off of my experience with that instrument that I'm reviewing. Like the JS240 with all the issues it had, I was straight up honest about that because that was my experience. And a lot of people have told me that could be the reason that people watch my videos and so many people have subscribed to the channel is because there's no edits. I'm not paid by any company to say good things about their products. And when I got that JS240, two of them, they both had problems. And I was gonna, when I did that review, I was gonna let it be known so that people don't lose $1,800 that they spend on a guitar. Then I bought the 550. I bought the Prestige. Perfect instruments out of the box. Like I said in the stream, man, plug up, play. They were ready to go. Those two guitars are the best experience of buying a guitar online that I've ever had. But I can't thank you guys enough, man, for the 100 subs. I hope to someday reach 1,000. That would be epic to me. And it did cut out a lot of why I do YouTube. Why I wanted to start doing YouTube. You guys may recall a video I made about a year ago about ADHD and how people didn't want to hang around me, don't have a lot of friends, and it's turned me into a very reserved, quiet person. YouTube is an outlet for me. I can get on here, I can be my weird, whacked out self, and feel like no one's gonna judge me by the content that I put out here. And I also wanted something to do after work, after a long day of work, or a hard day of work. So I thought, when I put that first review up, the JS140, I put it up there just to see, would anybody watch? Would anybody even care to look at this video? And that now has 1,300 views, I believe. Let me check. I got my YouTube opened up here. Let me go to my videos and go all the way down here to the bottom and see if I'm correct on that. Man, I got almost 400 videos on here that I have made. Just because it's fun to me. And I hope that it stays that way. I may get burned out every now and then. I'm sure. But I can find a way to get through that burnout. And now that I know 100 people want to watch my channel, gives me even more motivation to make a video. Okay, so the first review I put up, yes, 1,300 views. And then the red guitar, the JS240, is 1,100. The Prestige is 2,100. Like, wow. It's just crazy to me. And like I said in the stream, I have to look the specs up on these guitars before I make the video to make sure they're correct. And sometimes I freaking still get it wrong, Like on the Ibanez 6003 review I did, that I still have, it's right over there. I didn't know what the fretboard material was during that review because I did it on the fly. I didn't look up any of the specs. I knew it had Quantum pickups in it because that's what those guitars are shipped with. Same pickup that's in the bridge of the JS140 that my nephew now has. But yeah, I didn't know if anybody'd ever want to watch my channel or even care about the stuff I do. But apparently it must be pretty cool. And I really appreciate it. It goes straight to my heart, man. It makes you feel like people care, Because I know what it's like to feel like nobody cares about you. I spent many, many years in this very room feeling that way. Because let's go into some stuff about me here that not a lot of people know about me. Of course, video game addiction. I had that real bad. And that was my life for a long time, dude, playing video games. I would beat multiple games on the PS3. Every game I owned, I'd go through it, get all the trophies, do all the game had to do, and then wipe my system clean, reinstall all my games, go through them again. Like, wow. Who has the time to do that, right? And as you saw on my stream too, I was hollering at my mom. Yeah, I'm 35 years old and still live at home. And that's gotten me a lot of like weird comments and strange looks. You're 35 and never went out on your own? No, I haven't. And here's the reason why for that. Look at the freaking rent out here, dude, right now. I mean, at my job, yeah, I get paid decent money, I'm not going to go into how much that is, but I could not make it by myself just for an apartment here in my state. You're looking at no less than $1,000 a month. And there's no possible way I could pay that rent, have internet, all my utilities, water, power, a phone, a landline, if I wanted one. There's no way I could do it. And so I've sat here at my old home place. I've lived here for 21 years now. And that's how I feel it will be. Because, as shitty as it sounds, it's easier that way. Then what else was I going to get into here? Let's not get sidetracked. The depression thing. Yeah, I went through that because of that feeling that no one cares, It was almost like no one would care if you even woke up, Other than family, right? Girlfriends. Not a lot of that either. Let's see, let's go through it here. I had one girlfriend in kindergarten, if you could call it that. Then I met her again in high school. She didn't even know who I was. So that must have been a really good impression I left on her, right? Middle school, I had a couple. Didn't work out so well. And then in high school, I met my first love, my first real love. And I still remember her name. I still remember every day that I spent with that girl. And that was 2 years worth. Then there was another time in high school where I met a girl I liked, but I never went to tell her. And, it put me into the friend zone. And it stayed that way the whole time. And I felt so shitty because, I didn't have the nerve to go up and tell her. I almost did one time. Almost did once. And then a friend of mine comes up right before I'm about to do it. Did you ask her yet? And dude, I wanted to punch him straight in the face. I was like, oh, dude. And she was like, what? And she had this big smile on her face. And I was like, nothing. And then they come up, her and her sister, say they're moving to North Carolina. Moving away And that sent me into a deep, like, lost feeling. I wouldn't call it depression, it was just more lost. And then after high school ended, I had one girlfriend in 2010 that was short lived. Only because I only made $6 an hour at my job at the time. So she took off, right? And after that, no more girlfriend. Until the following year, I met my ex girlfriend of 5 years. We lasted 5 years. Some things went down. We split. And since then, there hasn't really been a girlfriend. I had one after her that was very short lived. You know, not much to speak of really on that as far as what happened. I won't go into those details. But yeah, and I started feeling that after she was gone, and I was like, dude, nobody would even care to know me. Nobody would even care to, if I even woke up the next day, right? Just crazy thoughts in your head. And then one day I woke up and I had this YouTube channel for a while. I just never uploaded nothing but like 2 or 3 things. And I got that JS140 in the mail. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put that thing on YouTube, talk a little bit about it, go over the specs of it, do a review on it, and see what happens. And then that sent me down this road. And that's got me 100 people that have subscribed to this channel. It makes me feel like people do care. And that's why I want to continue to make content. I hope that everything I do on here is enjoyable in some way. So there you go. That's all the stuff that was cut out of my live stream due to freaking internet issues. And I do have game streams that I need to finish. We're going to be doing that. We're going to be getting that out of the way as soon as I possibly can. As long as the freaking internet holds up, I'm going to wait and see what happens with this hurricane coming before I jump back into any game streams. Because I don't want it to skip parts and stuff like that. And now let's go into a little bit about the guitars. How I was talking in the stream about, getting a Japan Ibanez would be, my nose is just much better bang for your buck, money-wise, over an Indonesian Ibanez or some other company, right? And I've had someone ask me one time about that for my videos. Someone that I know that has seen my videos. And they were like, why would you say that, dude? Why would you promote Japan Ibanez over some of the other guitars on your channel? It's the quality, man. I mean, beginners out here, they need, or intermediate players even, they need a guitar that you can open up out of the box, plug it in, and it does what it's supposed to. There's nothing that you're going to need to fix, Like my JS140, I had to fix the intonation. My JS240 from Indonesia, I had to have 2 of those guitars and still had to spend an extra $134 to have the fretboard leveled on this one I have now. My Prestige, this 550 down here, perfect instruments as soon as I opened them up. And, people probably think, you turned into a snob, and if you don't own Japan Ibanez, you don't own an Ibanez. Maybe a little bit, just maybe. But like I said in the stream, if you can't afford Japan Ibanez and you want an Ibanez RG, an S series, or a signature model of your favorite artist, go ahead and get the Indonesian stuff. They're not all bad. That was just my personal experience with the 3 that I had shipped to me. And as I stated before, I've owned many Indonesian Ibanezes that I bought from a local shop here in my state. And they were all good. Every one of them. No issues whatsoever. Except for the RG350 I bought, which was entirely my own fault, making the trim springs screws come loose out of the body because I didn't know how to properly set one up. And then I had a 320 Ibanez RG that was amber burst, I guess you'd call it. And I played that thing so freaking much, man. Never once had to have the frets worked on. They were great. The bridge did go to crap, but that was me, abusing it all the time, every day. Playing Satriani albums cover to cover, track by track, using that bar like crazy. And it did finally get to the point where the knife edges wore down and it wouldn't stay on the post when you move the bar and it would go out of tune. And then one day, I unlock it to change the strings. I get it strung up, tune it up, go to lock it back down, and the threads on the inside of the nut on the low E and A string stripped out. And I was like, no, because I didn't know at the time, because I didn't have internet at this time, that you could order replacement parts. And so what did I do for it? What did I do with it? Well, me and my dad go to the hardware store or the auto parts store, one of them. I can't remember which. This was a long time ago. And we took a tap and die set and made it to where it would screw on or rethread the bolt, the threads. And it worked for literally 3 days. And then right back to the same problem. And I was like, I guess I gotta trade it off now. So I did. I actually pawned that guitar to get my dad some gas money so that my girlfriend of 5 years could come over here and spend the weekend with me. Because I don't have a license. And that I've went into before. I still have my car, but it's got a really bad sunroof leak and it mildews overnight. And so we're gonna get that fixed up so I can clean that thing up and start driving it. But man, like I never got my license because of my ADHD and my focus. It terrified me that I was gonna get distracted out here on the road at a time that I really shouldn't be distracted. Because anybody that has ADHD, you guys know. When you're looking at stuff and you're like, oh, dude, pretty colors, you will zone in on that and forget about what's going on around you. You would just be kind of, like a deer in the headlights, fixated on it. That's a bad thing when you're going down the interstate or down the road and there's cars ahead of you. So yeah, it terrified me. And I'm still nervous about it, but I got to get over that. But and once again, I really thank you guys so much for the 100 subs. It means the absolute world to me. And I'm hoping that one day I might get to 1,000. Just maybe. That would be super cool. And I haven't ever said this much in my videos, but if you want to subscribe because you like what I do, I would really appreciate it. And you'll be part of the YouTube family here. Because that's kind of what I want this channel to be. Every person that comes in, if I happen to be live streaming, maybe I can, you can come in and watch, interact with some other people that are chatting it up with me. And we all be like one big family, no judgment, nothing like that. Like guitar players, you guys come in watching my stream, and let's just say you're not on my skill level, and I'm not trying to brag here. There would be no judgment of that. And it's like, if you got any questions about how to get better, if I can help you, I'll damn sure try to, Maybe you'll get some information out of it. Maybe it'll be completely useless to you. I don't know. Because I've always done that. Every time that I sit down with a guitar player that I have never played with before, I will let them start with the first thing we play. And I'll sit and watch them play, listen to them, be very intent, watching and listening. And if they ask a question about something they can do better, I try to help them. And sometimes I can, sometimes I can't, because they're not quite there for what they want to learn yet. I've never been one of those guys that'll sit down with someone that plays guitar and be like, that sucks, dude, I'm so much better than you. If you did it this way, it would be so much cooler. I might have done that to my buddy Matt once, just because he wanted to know, what can make this cooler, man? And I kind of go through something with him. And I've really seemed to reach him very well with his playing. He's come a long way since we met in 2015. And that kind of gives me that mentality a little bit of, if I can help people, I would like to. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do here. Just make a video and go more in depth on some of the things that were cut out of my live stream due to internet issues. So thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the 100 subs. It all goes straight to my heart. It's amazing. And keep shredding it up out here. And also, the gamers, keep gaming, man. Start streaming. Do it. Get up and play your games. Let people see you play them. Like the motocross games I did before I ended here. I never thought that would do anything. Because I'm not great at racing games. I can't stay on the track perfectly. I can't win every race. Some of those videos have got almost 300 views on them. And I was like, wow. And I really hope that Supercross makes a new one and the MXGP makes a new one coming up here in a few months. So we can throw those up on the channel too. Because, like I said, I never thought anybody would want to watch what I do. But I guess I'm wrong. So thanks once again for the 100 subs. Keep shredding it up. Keep gaming. And take care of yourselves out here. And make sure that you always be good to each other. Later, guys.